Adam.
How you doing, Adam? Good to see you again, man. Yeah, good. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, I was the random guy outside by the Ubers. I'm like, I liked your guys' work.
I remember.
Yeah, the random guy.
I remember.
You're like, get away from me, guys.
That's usually how I am with fans. I say, get away from me.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah.
As you should, right?
Yeah.
Because
makes
you don't
a lot
want
of
the fans
sense.
to get too close.
Not me, dude. With the
acquaintances.
star power that I wield.
Sure.
You can't get too. You might get burned with all the star power.
Yeah, you need the private
too
security
hot.
and you know, all those guys.
I actually
around
feel
you.
it. It's warm.
It is crazy seeing the private security of some of the NFL players that are also gigantic, and then they have an even more gigantic player or guy who didn't play in the NFL guarding him.
Yeah.
I noticed that a few times, and
Like
you're like,
Myles
why,
Garrett. Like,
why do you need
Yeah.
a security? No one's going to mess with you, dude.
Yeah, the rest of us need security.
Like,
for
I'm
some of these
5'10",
guys.
170. I need security.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I need a lot of security. I should be like that. There's that kid online, I forget his name, that like just goes around and punks people, and then when people get mad, his security steps in.
Which one?
Yeah, there's a bunch of those little, and you hate those
snots.
guys.
Yeah, yeah.
But essentially, I need that.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to us about who you're working with here. Is it Cirkul?
Cirkul, yeah. I did a Super Bowl commercial.
Oh, wow.
With these guys.
Wow.
Cirkul Water. It's crazy. They're the biggest selling or the highest selling item in Walmart home goods history.
Whoa.
They're like flying off. It's $1 billion
Like you said,
company.
home goods. My wife just perked up. My
Yeah.
wife.
Huh?
She's like, okay, I'm
It's
all in.
Crazy, dude. And I didn't even know about it until they brought it to me, and it's just flying off the shelves. There's you put on this cartridge, and they have 100 different flavors. You can go from zero, which is just you're drinking water, and then you can crank up the flavor, and then it's tastes like you're drinking juice. But there's 0 calories, 0 sugar. It's actually delicious.
That's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's like a
just
magic trick. I don't know how they
inventing
do
stuff.
it.
We need that right now, especially on Bourbon Street.
You
out
have
here.
to, for whatever reason, I can't put a finger on it. I'm very dehydrated
Yep.
here.
I don't know why.
I can't put a finger on it, but I'm wildly dehydrated
Must be
here
something
in New
about
Orleans.
the humid air.
It's the
It
crawfish.
must be.
Yeah.
It must be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crawfish.
It has to
It's
be all the
gumbo.
salty gumbo that and the jambalaya that I've been eating.
Couldn't be the Caesars last night. It couldn't be the
No.
Caesars Casino last night.
It couldn't be.
No.
There's no possible way it was that, or
No.
Bourbon Street in general.
So I'm a huge Workaholics fan. I
Awesome.
love it. My mom loves it. My dad loves it.
I love that.
Which
Cool
is funny.
fam.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I remember with Blake, my dad got a picture with him when it was like season 1.
I love
season
that,
1.
dude.
And so he was the one that kind of got me into it. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, this is awesome. It's a family show.
I
some
love
people
that.
have like,
Modern Family.
Modern Family.
Yeah.
No, we're
Friends.
Workaholics,
That's my kind of family
Yeah,
right there,
right.
dude.
So I was wanting to know, how similar are you to your actual characters?
Well, it was based in. They say to write what you know, especially at the beginning. So they're just heightened versions of ourselves. Like we're not obviously those guys because we all
not.
would be dead.
You're not smoking on a rooftop all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, not all the time, but every rooftop I see, I'm like, that might be a good place to go there and smoke something. So yeah, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
I have to ask you this question. You were in one of my favorite movies, which I think is an incredibly underrated movie called The Final Girls.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I love that film. I'm a bit of a horror guy. It's funny. It's got horror elements, and it's actually like a really well written film.
Yeah.
It's actually a story about a young woman dealing with the untimely death of her mother, and it's really humorous and interesting.
Heart-wrenching stuff.
I get choked up watching the end of that movie. I'm obsessed with Betty Davis eyes now.
Yeah.
Because of that movie. And it was so good, and it was set up for, obviously, a potential sequel. It hasn't happened. Have you ever heard anything? Is it?
I don't know, because it's become like kind of a cult classic,
Yeah.
and I've worked with the director Todd Strauss-Schulson on Isn't It Romantic? We did another movie together, and I love that guy. I love the cast. I met my wife on that movie.
Yeah.
So that movie means a lot to me. I would definitely, go back and do it again.
Do I remember correctly? You guys die together in that movie.
Yeah, we did. I died. Yeah. I died multiple times in that movie.
You do, but it was pretty.
I kept sending my family me with my throat slit or my spine snapped in half, and I'm like, "Isn't this cool?" My mom's like, "Quit sending this to me."
Yeah.
This is terrifying.
See
I
this.
don't want to see this.
Yeah, well, if you talk to him, you tell him Patrick Allen said, "Please do a sequel.
All right.
It'll clean up."
How?
The guy is clamoring for it.
Yes, yeah. One guy. One guy.
Well, but it's an important fellow.
An important
That's right.
guy.
A very
wearing
important person.
Wielding a lot of power.
Yeah.
Do you just ever walk around yelling Catherine Zeta-Jones? Because I do. I sing that song. It's been stuck in my head for
She dips beneath the lasers.
at least a decade, dude.
I love that, dude.
It's just been stuck there.
Yeah.
Stuck in my head.
Yeah, that was cool. That was one of the first things that really caught on that people lost there, because I think that was the second or third episode, and people were yelling that to me. I mean, it still happens every once in a while, but
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you do a lot of voice acting now.
Mhm.
So what goes into voice acting? Do you have to change your style? Do you just do you?
No, it's really fun. Voice acting's cool because you can do you'll do it usually all the way through the scene, and then a lot of times you'll go back and do like ABCs. So you'll just do the same line 3 times in a row. So you can change your inflection and change a little attitude with it. And the best part about it is you don't have to memorize anything. You can just read it right off the damn paper. So it makes my job very easy.
When did you realize that you wanted to be an actor when you were growing up?
I was pretty young. I had a bad accident when I was 11. I was hit by a cement truck when I was 11
Yeah, I
years
read
old.
about that.
So I couldn't play sports. I was like convinced I was going to be a professional baseball player.
Yeah.
Well, you know, every little boy thinks that, but
You probably
but
would have been, though.
For me, I would have been.
Yeah.
I would have been.
Yeah.
But and then after that, I like was my life was baseball, and then I was hit by the cement truck, and then after that, I was like, I'm not going to be a professional athlete. And I loved comedy, and so I just sort of like went all in on comedy, and I remember watching Evening at the Improv, which was a show that took place at the Improv Comedy Club and just showed comedians. And I got really inspired by the comics that weren't that good, and they were on TV. And I'm like, so you can be not even that funny
Yeah.
and be
So
on
that's
TV.
the level. It's
Yeah, I'm like, if that's the level, I can do at least that. And, and here I am.
It's like, what do you call the lowest grade for a doctor?
Exactly.
You call him doctor.
You're still a doctor.
You're still a
Exactly.
doctor,
Yeah.
We cover sports here, but we also have a team of people that cover entertainment, and they really want to know any possibility, any update of a potential Workaholics movie.
No update, dude. We were so gutted. Paramount Plus, we were 5 weeks out. We wrote the funniest damn script. It was so good. We were so ready to go. They loved it. Everyone across the board was like, this is good to go. 5 weeks out, Paramount Plus pulls the plug and says it no longer fits our global agenda, which I think that just means we're going to give all of our money to Taylor Sheridan and make 12 Yellowstone spinoffs and not give the Workaholics guys anything. So we're like, we just want, just give us a little bit of money to make our show.
Yeah.
And so we were pretty disheartened by that whole thing. It really, really sucked.
How much do you need to get it done? Because Sterling hit a little bit at the casino last night. We can maybe
yeah,
pull-
I'm
that's
surprised.
I'm,
some money
honestly,
together.
that might be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's still standing. Honestly, I thought they would have just had to close.
Yeah, close it down.
Yeah, I mean,
Caesar himself comes down.
those $15 blackjack hands, they
Yeah.
really gets them.
Honestly,
Yeah,
you wield a lot of power with that amount of money.
If you were ever cast in a football movie, what position you playing?
Waterboy. Absolutely.
Two.
Yeah, Waterboy 2.
Waterboy 2. You could be the new Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, hoo-hoo. Put me in, coach.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Pretty good Adam Sandler. I like
Yeah.
that.
Everybody's got it.
Adam Sandler's
Well, Adam,
the
because Adam
the
and-
easiest
yeah.
one to do. Yahoo!
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, would you? This is another question from our entertainment team. They want to know: would you want to reprise your role as Bumper in any future shows or movies?
I mean, I did a spin-off for Peacock called Bumper in Berlin, where I go to Berlin to like try to resurrect my career. So I feel like I've done Bumper quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I love those movies, and I love the everyone that worked on that, all the cast and crew and everyone. So I never say never, but it's not probably top of my list right now.
Makes sense. You want to diversify a little bit. Did you
Yeah.
have any comedians that you looked up to when you were growing up?
I mean, yeah, dude. Chris Rock was probably my favorite. He's just so damn funny. And then a lot of the guys, movie guys that wrote their own stuff. The Will Ferrells, the Adam Sandlers. I loved Jim Carrey was a huge one for me. I would practice just doing his faces in the mirror when I'm just in my wheelchair as a little boy, just doing Jim Carrey impressions. So a lot of those guys. People that can write and produce and star in their own movies. Ben Stiller,
How much did that accident, did it influence you at all? Like, I know you went through a lot. You did, you learned to walk again, basically, dealing with a wheelchair. I'm sure the kids at school were really kind about all of that
middle schoolers
stuff.
are just sweet people.
They're really, they really are.
They're kind.
Yeah, they're just known for their kindness.
Big hearts. But a lot of people that go into comedy, sometimes they got picked on a little bit in school. I know I did. Did you deal with anything like that? And do you think it kind of helped shape your career path?
Yeah, I think so. I think it. Well, I just took it. I was like, "There's no one's going to kick my ass." Because you can't beat up the crippled kid.
That's a
You're an
hidden
absolute monster.
You're
if you beat
untouchable,
up.
basically.
I was untouchable, so I could just let things fly.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But, for sure it influenced. It also gave me time to figure things out. When other kids were just wrapped up in going to, having friends in a social life.
Yeah.
I was just at home. I would call into the radio station every day and do different impressions and do different characters on the radio in Omaha when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And they were like, I became part of the drive time hour
Okay. That's
awesome.
as a
Cool.
kid. And then they brought me in thinking I'm an adult man, and I show up as a crippled child to the radio station. They're like,
That's
we
great.
can't have you, we can't pay you. You're 12, 13 years old. We can't pay. But they paid me in concert tickets and Cranberry CDs. So it was worth it.
The real winner.
Yeah, it was all me, baby.
Adam Devine, appreciate you. And also shout out to Cirkul.
Circle Water.
Yeah.
Cirkul Water. You can get it at Walmart and
Home
Home
Goods.
Goods.
It's all over the place
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah, I think you can find it anywhere. But if you want,
I found
you
it
can
right here, actually.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, you can take this one. It's if you go to drinkcircle.com, you can perhaps be one of the 100,000 people that receive the Cirkul Water at your doorstep on Sunday for the Super Bowl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so if you want a free one, I would get to drinkcircle.com.
Get over there now. Adam, thank you so much for stopping by, man. Great to
take
meet
care,
you.
guys. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.